actually admitted this last year. I'll say it again. I actually do play some mobile games. I do. All right. The ones that I play are free to play or incredibly inexpensive, like you spend $1 here or there to make progress.
This one's for all my baby girls.
Got me that gotcha. I love it. Got me that gotcha. Begging for fucking tips and shit on Street. It's WWE Champions time. I'm stupid. WWE game plays like Candy Crush. Moving gems around, breaking colored gems. I love it. Again, it's pay to win. The more money you sink into it, the more characters you can summon, the higher chance you'll get the better characters, etc., etc. All right. Got me that gotcha. I love it. Got me that gotcha. Begging for fucking tips and shit on Street. Gotcha. Got me that gotcha. Thanks for the money, dummies. Supercar. That was a mobile game I played like 5-6 years ago, a lot. For about a year, I played it pretty hardcore. All right, even at that point, that was before everything kind of fell apart with YouTube and everything. I was putting a little bit of money into it. I was playing for the top cards. I was playing the shit out of that game, okay? After about a year, they launched what they called Season 2, which reset all the cards in the game and made all your progress essentially worthless. And I said, this game fucking sucks. What a complete waste of time that this was, all right?
Now, what does the sugar do in the sauce?
Adds sweetness, adds a contrast. If you don't, it's all going to be tartness, and you won't have any
it's
kind of
sweetness. It's going to be acidity from tomatoes.
Right, you'll have
and then
tart and its acid and nothing else. Alright. So now we got to stir all that in, and then we add our final ingredients, and then the meat.
This one's for all my baby girls.
Italian wife. Italian wife. Italian bills. Italian dark side flip. Italian wife. Italian wife. Italian chill. Italian can't give her a pill. I'm half kind of European mix. European style, Asian fusion style. Tips. Greasy hair. Pasta once a week. Authentic style, Asian fusion style. Italian.
Guess what else we're going to add?
What?
Sausage. Italian sausage. That's going to go in here too.
I love sausage. I have had many varieties.
Italian wife. Italian wife. Italian bills. Italian dark side flip. Italian wife. Italian wife. Italian chill. Italian can't give her a pill. Why do you pretend to be Italian? I don't. I'm not full-blooded Italian. That'd be ridiculous for me to claim. I am a quarter Italian. I am 1/4 Polish, and then I'm half kind of European mix. Why do I say I'm not a children's entertainer? Because I'm not a Muppet. I'm not here to play a character. I'm not here to pretend that I'm something that I'm not. I don't dye my hair. I don't act stupidly constantly to get attention from children. I don't do stupid pranks. You know what I mean? I don't cause drama. I'm here just to play games and have fun. I'm a legitimate gamer. Big ups Meerkat.
I need banana, tasty banana. Put banana in my mouth, tasty banana. I need banana, tasty banana. Please the peel it comes in there. Put banana in my mouth, squeeze banana. Put banana in my mouth, squeeze banana. Put banana in my mouth.
Act and talk a certain way with certain mannerisms, certain over-the-top reactions, screaming at the top of their lungs, jumping, flailing, doing weird things, constantly on camera.
I need banana, tasty banana. Put banana in my mouth, tasty banana. I need banana, tasty banana. Please the peel it comes in there. Put banana in my mouth, squeeze banana. Put banana in my mouth, squeeze banana. Put banana in my mouth. I need banana, tasty banana. Put banana in my mouth, tasty banana. I need banana, tasty banana. Please the peel it comes in there. Put banana in my mouth, squeeze banana.
we hit the 250 vest streak for that celebration, I'm going to debut a new vest. There we go. Celebratory bubble blow. Very nice. There's bubbles everywhere. There's bubbles all over my PlayStation 4 controller. There's bubbles on my microphone stand. There's bubbles everywhere tonight.
Big ups to your cat. Like on a live stream helps at all. So it really doesn't matter if this.
What's up, everyone? We are here. That being said,
Fail. Sorry, carry on. I just saw that thing.
You saw lots of things, but we're here anyway. Nothing I could do, nothing Sam could do, nothing Steve could do, nothing Meerkat could do. But we're here for Phoning It In, episode 15, and we are happy you are here. We can officially say we have the most people in our call-in room that we've ever had, which is pretty hype, for sure. I will have to say, though, unfortunately, as a programming note, we're going to have to kind of close it off here, too, because we want to get to everybody, and we don't want to be here till midnight. So we kind of have to stop it here. So if you're in the chat room now, cool. And if you want to hang on the whole time, wait for us, awesome. But please, no more calls, I should say, okay? If you call in from now, we can't get to you, I don't think, because there's so many people. We want to talk to everybody, give our full attention to everyone. But before we get to that, let's get to our legends around me here. And let's start with the one and only, the legend, the Meerkat. How you feeling, my friend? And what is on your screen right now? Please explain.
Hey, big ups, everybody. Welcome to this call-in show. What I have on the screen is a very interactive live sub count. The guy who today was celebrating 200,000 is now not celebrating, I guess, because they dropped. So we're going to see how much they're going to drop during the length of this call-in show.
Okay.
So let's get the people calling in, and let's get the subs dropping.
This is one thing that everyone is just pulling together as because for me this is what doesn't count as ops, but it's just fun because like it doesn't matter, it doesn't affect anything except Phil's own 200k subs. I'm so happy, but let's do what we can to get that as low as possible, almost to 198,000 now, which is pretty incredible. Let's get to another person that is always here, another legend, the one, the only, the dentist, Samuel. How you feeling, my friend?
Pretty good, yeah. Excited as always to get going. Yeah. Let's do this. Got a lot to get to.
And last but certainly not least, our newest member of the team, the one, the only, the Steve of the Dead. How you feeling, my friend?
I'm good. I'm looking forward to this because the episodes are normally like defined by a certain topic or a theme or whatever he's done that week. But this is phone in, so everything's random. You never know what the next person's gonna ask. So I'm very excited for this one. I haven't received the payday yet, though. That's still so.
Yes, we have yet to reach our payday goal. Someday, maybe we will reach that. We'll see, though. I did eat the last one, too. So sorry, I don't have payday with me right now, unfortunately. They just can't stick around. I got to eat them. But let's get, Sam, to our first message, I think. And before we get to our first call, let's get to our first message, Sam, if you can play that for all the beautiful people out there.
Yeah, I'm a bit worried about this one, actually. This is the King of Hyrule. Oh, who's that?
That's him.
Oh, that's you, Steve, I think.
Is it? Oh, my bad.
You got some authentic Steve of the Dead static.
Vintage style static.
Cool.
Anyway.
Anyway.
A lot of my audio is quiet, so I'm keeping my mic very close this time.
Okay.
So thanks, everyone.
Oh, there we go. Right, here's the King of Hyrule. It's 2 seconds long. There we go. Thanks, the King of Hyrule.
All right, let's go around the horn here. I don't even know yet. Sam, what's for dinner for you?
What's for dinner? What was for dinner? It was like some sort of duck. Oh, my wife's gonna kill me. Duck and pasta sort of style dish. That's all I got.
Okay, nice. Okay, let's go to next, Steve. What's for dinner for you? We never asked you this question before, I don't think. Maybe we have, but anyways, now let's get what you're going today.
I was actually thinking pasta as well. I've not had mine yet, so yeah, there's some pasta downstairs, and I've got some mascarpone sauce, so I think I might have that.
Meerkat, your turn.
I don't know, man. Probably some rice and some shit that I'm gonna eat later. I don't know.
Thank you. Let's end that meme.
Very deep question, though.
Let's end that meme question as fast as possible. Let's get one more message in there, Sam. Let's get a real one in there. Logan K is in the house.
Logan K. Let's do it. I'm assuming you guys can hear this. In fact, sorry, that's why I couldn't hear it. Sorry, one last technical problem. I'm not getting it in OBS. So hang on 2 seconds. Talk amongst yourselves, everyone. You'd have thought we'd have had all this sorted, wouldn't you? Right.
Ganja Kid coming ahead. Thanks for that super chat for back taxes. And we always need extra help with our back taxes because, of course, we don't pay because no one asked us to pay. When no one asks you to pay anything, you don't have to pay. That's how beautiful taxes work. So thank you, Ganja Kid. You are a legend. And that was a great episode you had with Steve a few days ago. That was awesome.
Yeah, if no one watched that, go back and watch it. It's great.
I will link it in chat
that was
right
a lot of fun.
I will
right, here we go. I think I've sorted it. Right, Logan K, everyone.
King Jad stream a few days ago. Big ups, King Jad. And DSP loves to talk about marathons, and he loves to classify certain streams as marathons and others as just regular streams. But I actually think that every stream he does is by definition a marathon, because he sits down in the morning at 10:45 or whenever he starts, and he streams the same game for, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours. Then he takes a break and he does it all again at night, and he hardly ever, if at all, changes the game during the stream. So everything is a marathon event for him. So can someone please tell me the difference between a regular DSP stream and a marathon, or even if there is one? I think you guys are absolute legends. Love everything you do. Big ups. Have a good one.
Awesome stuff. Meerkat, this sounds like it's in your ballpark. Let's go ahead. What's the difference here?
At this point, everything he does is a marathon because it just repeats itself until you just give up listening, man. Or it just happens to end at some point. But like we saw yesterday, even when it ends, he kind of forgets sometimes to just turn it off. So we end up looking at him be on his phone for like 5 minutes.
Oh yeah, that was definitely something worth talking about. With just that posture of, I am playing a mobile game. There is nothing else I could be doing right now but playing a mobile game. That's the posture I saw. I'm no expert on the human figure, but Steve, what was your thought? Did you see that? What are your thoughts on that?
I did, yeah. I have several hours worth of thoughts. So.
Oh no.
But yeah, it's straight addict's behavior, because he went right into it. Like the moment he was done, he turned and his head started going at like a 75-degree angle. So yeah, his neck's going to be fucked. His neck and the discs in his neck are going to start bulging. When he starts complaining in future about numbness and tingling in his fingers and in his arm, that's his neck, that's his posture, that's his back. So
that's one of those things. Like I catch myself doing that too. Like at times, you're on the phone, just like, oh, let me just, and you're like, oh crap, what am I doing? I'm just like, I'm a monster. Just like peeking down on the phone. It's like, oh, I don't want to do that. But we all do it. But Phil was so fast on that. It was instant. Oh, camera's off. Boom. Let me check. It was insane.
Yeah.
Sam, anything to add to that?
Well, I know Steve is probably worse off, but or certainly similarly afflicted, like with the back problems. I struggle with my back as well, and my back hurt looking at him, let alone what it must be like for him. But just because I know what that's like, I have problems up and down my back, and I know what sitting like that can do to you. So I'm, it was painful to see.
But thanks so much for that question. That is true. All his streams are the same. It doesn't matter. It's just what's the goal, right? That's how I differentiate the streams. Is the goal higher than normal? Well, you probably got a marathon on your hands, or you got a special Begament session, which is for extra special goals. He hasn't done one of those in a while. Let's give him credit. But he used to be very regular on those extra special. I need extra help, and then he put a $500 goal, and that's the marathon that there was usually a sub goal to get too. It's like, if we get to 500 subs, then we have an extra marathon where you give me extra money. It's a great thing.
They haven't really been working recently, because when he does like a marathon style event, it usually raises around 300 to 400. So I guess that's like the perfect day of getting like $250 streams. So yeah, that's pretty much okay. Plus a little bit on top of that, so he can spend it on champions, and it's all good, man. But they don't make the money they used to, when it was like, you guys, I need $16,000 for taxes now, or I'm dying. That was a classic DSP.
Oh yeah, not a guilt trip though. Not a guilt trip. So remember that.
The difference between the two
Save
is
the house.
when he does like specific goals they're expected to be met. But when he's doing like general marathons, they're expected to be exceeded. In a regular sort of like stream or a marathon where he's got a goal of, let's like say $1,000, you're expected to meet that. Anything above it is great, but you're at least expected to meet it. But in like his celebratory marathon events, you're expected to exceed it. The goal doesn't matter. You're supposed to just keep giving. So he has like approaching attitude shift between this is a regular stream, this is a marathon.
That's a good point. Got just a few super chats to shout out here. Snood coming in at DSP Gaming. This is for DSP himself. Mulan is a 2020 American fantasy action drama film produced by Walt Disney Pictures.
What?
Thanks, Derek.
Thanks, Derek. That's a beautiful joke, by the way. Barrett Wells coming in hot. Funds to help against the DDoS attack on OBS. Yes, because we also are billionaire companies that can't do a launch correct, or wait, botch a launch. Remember botch? I love the word of botch getting thrown around 18,000 times. Yeah, it's a botch.
Does anyone else think we've got a lot to cover? Like from a few short days, it seems like the obnoxious rants have just been off the charts.
Oh, today was bad too. I mean, we can't really spend much time on it. As you see, we have a lot of people to want to hear their thoughts. But if you want to bring it up in chat, we'd love to talk about it. But it's up to you guys today. But yeah, so Sunday got a lot. Go ahead.
Speaking of DDoS, I think somebody is DDoSing his sub count because it keeps going down. I'm looking at it, and it's constantly in the red, man. I don't know what this means. I don't know why it's happening, but it's
I know.
not good.
My eyes are just constantly going there. By the way, watching it go. But my attention is distracted here. But let's get our first caller in here. A legend, our first ever member on the channel is in the room. Indrid Cold. How are you feeling today, my friend?
I'm pretty good. How are you guys?
Pretty good. What's your question, comment, or whatever you want?
It's more of a comment. So there's an episode of King of the Hill where they hire a junkie, and he says this story of why he's late to work, and it's a really super long story. And he says, the more complex and long and the story is, that means it has to be true. So it feels kind of like that. It's like, somebody who has murdered their significant other, and when they try to explain in so much detail, it just makes it sound completely untrue.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's like a classic crime thing, right? So if you didn't do something, it's simple, right? You just say, hey, I was at work at 4:30. This person was killed at 4:30. I didn't do it. All the other stuff is nonsense. But as you see in those crime shows, if you did do it, you have a long list of things to talk about, right? It's interesting.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, that's basically it. It was just more of an observation. Like, holy crap, he just goes into these long, detailed explanations of something that's clearly not true.
That is definitely true. Steve, go ahead.
I've mentioned it in previous videos that when you have to tell the truth, you just tell the truth. The truth, you go straight to it. You don't sort of like pad it or preface it. You just go straight to it because the truth of the matter is what's important. And as far as you're concerned, you're telling the truth. So the statement is enough. Whereas somebody like Phil who has to pad it out is providing supplementary information that you might not need because he's anticipating being questioned about it. So he's padding it out already so that if later on you were to ask him a question, he'd be like, well, I said that at the start. And it's a thing. If to bring it back to murderers for a brief moment, if you know who Stephanie Lazarus is, you'll recognize the similarities in responding to conversations.
I don't.
But if you don't know who Stephanie Lazarus is, have a look for her. I think Jim Cantwin might have done a video about her, but either way, you can find her interrogation footage online, and you will recognize a lot of DSP in her.
Okay, I've got it pulled up on Google, so I remember.
Awesome. All right, thanks, Indrid. We'll let you go. Thanks so much. First caller of the night.
All right.
Big ups, Indrid.
You are
Thanks, Indrid.
True legend.
And we're about to hit
Here we go, guys.
198.
Hang on to your hat. Here we go. Oh,
drum roll.
Oh, everyone make a sound like you caught a big fish when it happens.
Amazing. What a moment.
56 pounds. All right, I'm done. Last time I'll do that tonight. Sorry. I was working on that short. I hope you guys saw the short we made. And I've been hearing that like all week 10,000 times. Did it go back up? Okay.
Yeah. 198, yeah.
Every time it happens, we got to do it. Okay, let's get to our next message, Sam. Go ahead.
Right. Fizgas, or however you pronounce it. I need to give Fizgas some props, a bit of a shout out in a sec. But yeah, let's see what he's got to say. Or she.
Hey, that being said, podcast, big fan, new member. I just wanted to ask about something that's been kind of bothering me. I never managed to establish what's up with that. But so Phil apparently enjoys some sort of protection. I mean, nothing else makes sense because with all the shit that he's said and done over the years, it almost feels like he has some sort of protection like those other streamers had when the Twitch leaks came out. That they weren't supposed to be banned or action was supposed to be taken against them unless someone looked over the situation. So I wonder if something's in place for Phil and maybe some other degenerates that we all know. Yeah, because with my little ass YouTube channel, if I did a 10th of what Phil's been doing, I've been given the ban hammer. So yeah, that's wanted to ask your theory about that. Sound good? So yeah, big ups. Go subscribe to my YouTube channel because I got two or three big bills coming up. Thanks. See you guys later.
That's a good theory there. I'm liking this Theo theory that maybe because Phil was in that kind of special group of the people that were making the top amount of money, that maybe he wasn't those people that got a special note or clause on their names that said, hey, if you're maybe we don't see everything, right? Like if you're in the top 300, earners on Twitch, hey, don't ban them or something like that. We don't know what that's going on. But Sam, looks like you want to say something. Go ahead.
No, I was racking my brain to remember what Fizgas said that I need to remember. Yeah, but move on to someone else, and I'll come up with something.
Anyone have anything else to add there? Let the floor is yours.
I guess it's because he got the check mark, and he's a verified guy. He's a partner. He used to be a partner on Twitch, but yeah, I guess that's why they didn't ban him. Even though they're kind of trigger happy, I guess. So. Yeah, I guess it's that he's just been around for long enough.
Could be.
And,
Steve?
Yeah, that was why I was thinking. He's been around long enough that he's got like the legacy views, as it were. He's got, because YouTube might look at like a various bunch of analytics when they're coming to determine whether an account is like a troll account or a genuine one, and it'll be stuff like view counts, the length that you've been there, your number of videos uploaded or comments, and Phil will just by virtue of being on the site for that long sort of tick all those boxes. So when it comes to like automated complaints checking, they'll see that no, he's a real account and just skip it rather than go, oh, he's a troll account and get rid of him. So I wonder if it's that.
Yeah. Good point.
Yeah, I think that kind of accounts for some of, like it gives him some leeway maybe. But yeah, really not up on this sort of thing. I don't know. I feel like, I just maybe just YouTube, just maybe he's got lucky. I don't know. It's difficult to say. Yeah,
this is one last take on this point because we got to move on. But I think that he gets so much people reporting him to YouTube. Like I bet at some point they're like, all right, whatever. Anything about DSP, just forget about it. Right? Like they have those, it's probably interns or whatever. All right, checking all these reports they get. They probably get 1,000 reports a day, and they got to check them. It's all these interns' jobs, and they probably like, all right, guys, we get 15 DSP ones a day, and they're all kind of there, but nothing that crazy. And they might just, people send like small ones too, like he might have said something like homo, right? It's not a good word to say, but it's not like bannable. And they might say, oh, that homo, that's fine. And then like, all right, the rest of them, just forget about them. There's too many. Like it could be, there's so much reporting that, it's just like, we got to ignore some of these guys. There's just too much to report about DSP here. We can't deal with this every day. This our daily 50 reports from that DSP, but that's just theory, obviously.
Wow, that's a drop in the counter there.
Yeah, what's going on?
Channel banned live. Can you imagine if it got banned live? Wow.
No.
Okay.
It's going to restart in a sec.
Quick shout out to Tom Robbins, legendary legend member, and $5 from Storm Martin, EBFG. Thanks so much, my friend, for that nice comment as well. Let's get to our next caller. You will recognize this voice that calls in, and he always has legendary thoughts. Snood, what do you got for us today, my friend?
Phil has finally fucking done it. You trolls are seething and coping. Not only did Phil get to 200,000 subscribers in one day, he also managed to manipulate the trolls into unsubscribing from him so that he would be below $200,000 subscribers. And that's exactly what I wanted to do, guys, okay?
That's what he wanted.
Exactly what he wanted. Perfect day for him so far. That's good stuff. What else you got, Snood? I know you got more.
I have never seen such a huge cope. I mean, maybe I have seen a huge cope on every single other day that he streams.
Yeah, it's not exactly a new thing, but
no, I do have one question for the other panel here.
Yes.
Did you guys know that Mulan is directed by Nikki Caro from a screenplay by Rick Jaffa, Amanda Silver, Laura Hynek, Elizabeth Martin, and is a live-action adaptation of Disney's 1998 animated film of the same name, based on the Chinese folklore story Ballad of Mulan?
Whoa, I didn't know that, Derek. That's cool. Thanks.
All right, well, I gotta go now. My parents are taking me out for driving lessons. I'm gonna practice following very, very slowly behind someone on the street in a really, really big van, and then doing a 3-point turn so that I can run them over or something.
And then get back to Twitter.
And then get back. And then I'll be back to the stream later tonight, Phil. Okay.
Oh, thanks, thanks, Derek. Thanks, Derek, for stopping by. Is that really it, Snood? You always have more time for us, but what do you think? We'll always give you more time if you have anything.
Well, plans for a live-action remake of Mulan began in 2010, but the project stalled in development hell for most of the decade.
Thank you, Derek. Thanks, Derek. That's a great comment. Guys, I want to talk about something serious. Oh, hey, Derek. How's it going, Derek? All right, I'll let you go, man, finally.
Sure.
That was awesome,
Thanks, guys.
Thanks,
that was
Snood.
awesome stuff from Snood, as always. Let's go to the next message, Sam. Go ahead.
Oh, here's big guy.
The thing that surprised me the most about the Keemstar React was how much Phil was trying to get across that Keem was a failure. Phil would constantly call Keemstar a failure when he got banned, or when an investment didn't pay out, or when he fell for a scam. And this was at the time that Phil had been making his 6-figure income for half a decade at that point. Yet for all of Phil's comparing himself to Keemstar, Phil didn't mention the direction that their careers have gone. When the story started, Phil was pulling in $250,000 a year from his YouTube channel, while Keem was hassling people who were late on their credit cards. At the end of the story, Keem is a multimillionaire insulting Phil in a video from his mansion, while Phil is begging for tips because he needs to buy cat food, and that's why he's still on level 1. I can't tell if Phil is still playing a character, or if he really has become that detached from reality. It's hard to believe that he did a 9-hour stream basically complaining to the internet that I'm not as bad as Keemstar, so why are you picking on me? And why am I not allowed to make as much money as him?
Well, Sam?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
This is it, man. This is it.
I know. Just like when you say good points, we can just say, yep, good points. I mean, what else can we say? Steve, you had anything to add there?
He's covered everything, basically. How did you do it in like a minute?
He always brings the prepared statements that always are hit the nail right on the head. So thanks so much for that. Let's get our next caller in here. Another friendly voice that everyone will recognize. Goes by the name of Jimmy, and he is here. Question or comment from Jimmy. How's it going, my friend?
Hello there, everybody. You damn dirty balls. How you feeling now, huh? Better not be feeling so good since DSP is the biggest streamer now. Back at 200K. That's why. I want to talk about Phil being the sort of anti-streamer in some way.
Yeah. Okay.
Because he a couple of days ago he was talking about how he hates games like Cult of the Lamb and how he avoided playing them throughout summer because he referred to them as streamer games. But isn't he a streamer? He is a streamer, is he not?
Yep.
He is a streamer, and he avoids playing streamer games. And he kind of avoids all the sort of things that you kind of want to be in order to be successful as a streamer. So in a sense, he's the anti-streamer in every single way.
He definitely, yeah, that's a good point. I think he has this weird thing about when something is in, right? Something is in. The gaming world is talking about this thing. He has to go against it for some reason in the beginning. Like it's his default is like, I hate this for some reason. And he makes up some insane reason that he hates it. right? Like we've seen it so many times. Go ahead, Meerkat.
He's also a huge hype beast. He hypes everything up for like weeks and months and weeks in his schedule, man. I'm already supposed to be hyped for Street Fighter 6 next week, the entire week. That's all we're playing.
I for it next year as well, when he finally actually gets to play it. So it's like he hypes it up, and then he did kind of also hype up Overwatch too, because he's like, got such a crammed month this month, guys.
Yep.
We have Overwatch 2, and we also have Shit Fuck 5. That's coming out too. And it's just like he's kind of that. He'll hype it up, but he'll also shit on things. And it's like he's against the concept of like streamer games and having a good setup and all the things that you're meant to have to be a sort of successful streamer. And I think it plays into this idea that he believes that he's better than every other streamer, that he doesn't have to do those things, but he still demands the same level of success as those streamers.
Mm-hmm.
It's very... I think it probably plays into his deep narcissism about himself and how he's like, I'm better than everyone else, and I don't have to do the things that everyone else is doing. So I have to be... I can just play old games, and I can be as successful as, I don't know, whoever's playing Cult of the Lamb. I don't have to play those games.
Oh, yeah.
They're for streamers. I'm the ultimate streamer who doesn't have to rely on that.
Well, if anyone saw yesterday, by the way, yesterday night, when he couldn't get an Overwatch and he still made $151, this is the beginning. This, I promise you, friends, I know you guys don't talk about it on Sunday. I won't be there, but I'm making my thoughts out here.
Mm-hmm.
This is the beginning of the end of gaming on DSP Gaming. I promise you. He is going to get empowered by that $151. And that's going to be like, oh, I can do this it's so great. We can just hang out here. And then he's going to be rude awakened. When that becomes the norm and it's not special anymore, and those $150 income isn't coming every stream, what he's going to do then, right? Because the reason that it got so many tips, because it's kind of special, cool. We're here with Phil. He's not gaming. We're still cool, though. But if he does that every day, then the specialness is gone. Then you get a level 1 podcast for what, 3 hours? I don't know. There's not one soul on earth that's going to enjoy that. I don't.
Yeah. And that's the thing, like would it have been this amazingly positive thing if he hadn't got the money? That is what it boils down to for me. It's like, he bashed on about it on his daily rap and in the pre-stream today, about how great it was, and he really wanted to hammer that home. But I'm just like, yeah, but that's because you got $150. It's got nothing to do with the fact that you enjoyed the time spent or thought you'd made some good content. It's just, you didn't get.
What do you mean? What do you mean it was fucking good? He was crying the whole time. The whole stream was him complaining. And then it's like, this is his action speaking about what kind of a time he's having. You can't just go on Twitter afterwards and say that it was amazing after crying the whole time.
It was him bitching, complaining for hours on end, and he's just like, it was a positive, fun, interactive live stream where everything was great. And I kind of agree with ALT, and I think Piece of Peace also said it as well, where he said this is kind of like the Steins Gate moment, where you're just like, yeah, this is where Phil is going to go in about the next year. Mm-hmm. He's going to go into talking for hours, and you're going to hear people say, what did you have for dinner last night, Phil? 5 times over.
Oh my God, those questions. I want to shoot myself. Oh, Phil, have you ever been to Canada? Great question, bro. It's so important question here. Hey, Phil, what do you like better? Beauty and the Beast or Little Mermaid? Can you imagine a world where that's the question? Then he says we have younger watchers. He says we have the people that are teenagers watching us. By the way, we have 0%. I checked it.
Teenagers who don't understand the world. Unlike me, I understand 50 different Disney movies and who directed them. I'm super smart. The Disney movies are the Disney questions are fucking suicide inducing. I can't stand them. I genuinely, I get super toxic whenever Derek just posts Disney facts in chat. I get super toxic. I want Derek to do something involving a rope. That's what I want Derek to do.
Oh, toxic stuff coming out from Jimmy here. I think here's I forget, Meerkat, you shared this theory. Someone else said, I know it wasn't your original thought, but someone said it, that Phil is so quick to talk to Derek because that kind of takes Derek out of the conversation a little bit, right? You acknowledge Derek's thoughts, so then we can move on. Is that what he said, Meerkat? I kind of forget. It was something like that, right?
But he spams it all the time in chat and then just retracts his message and sends another one until it gets read. So at some point you gotta, or you have to like time him out or some shit, and then he's gonna cry.
I can't do that.
I think it might be the special needs aspect, because I remember the Discord leaks where he was talking about who was it, Sidella?
Mm-hmm.
He was talking about Sidella, and he said, "Don't be too harsh on Sidella. He's special." I think he literally used the term special or something like that. Like he has once, and it's like,
yeah, I remember.
I guarantee you his mods have been told the exact same thing about Derek, just because he's been in there the longest and he doesn't want to seem insulting to a guy who is like mentally disabled, like an actual like handicapped person. And it's like I genuinely think it might be that, where he's just like, don't be too aggressive to Derek. He's special, okay? He's really special, and he knows all this stuff about Disney and trains, and he knows everything about porn stars too. So he's super kind.
Oh yeah, he does know a lot about porn stars. But all right, Jimmy, we'll let you go. Thanks, man. Awesome stuff.
Bye. Goodbye.
Hey, Jimmy.
Jimmy, good stuff there. Barrett Wells coming in hot with super chat saying, I think we're seeing the identity crisis now that I thought we'd get back around his birthday. I think you're right. But Meerkat, I'm going to check your counter there. It's stuck on 198,000 subs for a while now. Anything sus going on? What's your report?
I don't know, man. I'm standing here at Darkside Phil's channel headquarters, broadcasting live. I'm counting every sub individually, and they come out at 0, apparently.
Okay, thanks so much. Keep your
I'm
eye
still
on
counting them.
Meerkat's
Back
eyes
to you
and ears.
guys at the studio.
We need a Meerkat standing, at attention, trying to get the lay of the land like they do. Meerkat standing tall for all the news and attention from the prairie of DSP. Let's get to our next message here, Sam, if you don't mind.
So actually the last one, unless there's been any.
I think that's good. I think that's a better thing.
Yeah. So here you go, 2D2 well. Oh, hang on. Oh no, we've got a few.
Okay.
There we go.
Hey guys, 2D2 Will here. And I want to talk about Phil's recent 14-year anniversary celebration, as well as his celebration of 200,000 subscribers. And it's really just a look back on his entire career. And I just want to know, does Phil actually know how to be a YouTuber? And does he know how to be a streamer? Because he's been doing this for 14 years, and yeah, he knows how to upload a video, and he knows how to go live on a streaming site, but does he know the actual basics of how to make a good YouTube video and how to run a business based around YouTube and streaming? He claims that all these other channels that got more popular than him, game the system, but I would argue that most of them just did best practices in terms of making quality content. And I think that's the thing that Phil doesn't understand. But then again, he thinks his shit doesn't stink, and well, we all know that it does.
Yeah, I think, Sam, you're the best person to answer this one because you had the whole video kind of on that same line.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of kind of he doesn't know how, and also, again, it's another example of him doing the whole just not wanting to learn thing. There's examples of him. I mean, there's examples of all kinds of different things. But yeah, I forgot what I was going to say now. But yeah, there's. Oh yeah, I know what it was. There was an example. I think it was from this week of him saying, "I used to know how to do this, but I don't have that skill anymore." It's probably about using image editing software or something like that. And it's just like, if that's your mentality, and you're only 40 years old. Let's not forget, you're not like an elderly person. You might look it maybe, but he's not over the hill that we know of. But yeah, he's just, I don't know, he's just got this sort of, it's like a block in his head or so. I don't know. Steve can obviously put this better than I can, but yeah, it feels like there's something inside, this unwillingness, and also this kind of like this stubbornness that just doesn't let him move on or better himself or anything like that. So,
go ahead, Steve.
Yeah, I think Baxter called it creative bankruptcy. And it is the idea that you just don't really care that much to want to learn how to do a thing, because as we grow older, there's some slight like mental slowdown, as it were. You do, things get harder to recall, and you get little dates here and there. It's just what happens, but you never lose the capacity to learn and to acquire new skills. So that is always there, and as long as you keep doing it, as long as you keep being interested in the things you're interested in, you'll learn, you'll pick up new things, you'll grow and advance. And for DSP, he's never had the sort of thing pushing it, because there's never been any joy. It's been a job. It's been a way that he gets his money. It's been a thing that like facilitates the reward that he feels entitled to, but it's never been a thing he really cared about. So he might have once known how to use like an image editing software that he was paying like 180 quid a month to have, but now he doesn't know, because he's not bothered to sort of keep up with it, keep using it, and keep learning what he can do within that software, for example. And it expands to everything. It expands to like every aspect of his production. And he might have a stream deck because, he's a streamer and that's what streamers have. He's not going to learn how to use it, though. He's not going to learn how to set it up and put it in.
No.
Fuck no. He's gonna hold his little handheld toy. You can dun, 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 dun.
Yeah,
What the fuck is that?
Like he'll have it, but again, it's I've talked about it before, but like it could make his life easier in that he can play stupid sound effects and change his scenes and stuff. But he's got to put the work in still to get that to work, and I think even that is too much work for him. He just the amount of fannying about that he does to get to do anything, and the way he words having to do this stuff, just he's just so unwilling. He'll talk about doing something that takes you 5 minutes, and he'll say it in a way that's like I'm going to implement this. Yeah, exactly. It's like what was there was something. There's so many examples, but I'm struggling to think what they are. But where it's just like that's a 2-minute job max, and you don't need a whole afternoon to do. The Overwatch link in his battle.net thing. He keeps bringing it up, and that is going to be what I mean. I don't know because I've never played Overwatch, but that's going to be what, a 2-minute job at most,
maximum.
So that's the sort of thing I mean. Everything, Ganji Kid, exactly. Everything's a chore.
Yeah. Yesterday, by the way, this little note on that. Yesterday, someone said about birds that are flying. Phil was talking about birds that were flying. Like, some birds are coming over. They usually Meerkat knows what I'm talking about. And Phil acted like, I don't. Oh, okay, watch. Listen to this. Phil was talking about the birds that were coming over his house. That they're a little earlier this year. So I can't remember if it's earlier or later. Whatever. They're coming over his house right now. And someone said, "Oh, Phil, could you take a picture of the birds?" And Phil said, "Oh, no, I have no way to do that. No way to do that." He literally has a porch to do that. He can walk outside, but he acted like that was an impossible chore, a task to do. I can't do that. I have no way to do that. I'll link it later on my Twitter. I promise that he did say this.
He'd have said that into a camera.
Yes.
I have no way to take photos into a camera.
Yeah.
I can't take pictures. I can't do that. I can't.
And the funny thing is, we know exactly where his phone was at that point as well. It was in the same place it always fucking is.
All right, let's get. We got a question from a super chat here. So let's get yeah boy coming in hot here. How low is it that Phil uses depression to justify coherent decisions? As in, I'm the guy, but you can't judge me. I was depressed, and we've seen so many cases of that throughout the history of. So remember, fucking with Mike Watson online endlessly, and finally Mike Watson says, "I'm done with this shit. I'm in person. Let's do this." I was drunk then. Sorry guys, I was drunk. What's the next one? I was saying bad stuff. I was depressed, guys. Oh, I said some racist stuff. Racist style stuff. I was a character. I was a character. You silly goose. But anyways, good question. But there's so many cases of it. Unless anyone has a specific, Steve, anything specific you want to shout out there?
It's the lowest. It's just the lowest thing. It's one of the most disgusting things it does, especially if you're somebody who has struggled with depression or is struggling with depression at the moment, and the effect it can have on a person and their ability to function. It's just the most disgusting thing. It really gets to me though.
Yep. And think about people that really have those problems, like you just said, Steve. That's the people that you're slapping right in the face, saying, real people have real problems, and unfortunately, DSP thinks you can just create those.
Being depressed doesn't make you an asshole. You know, it doesn't make you act a certain way. It doesn't make you do the things that he did. You know, it's yeah.
Next caller in the house, Michael Johnson, with his always hot takes. Let's go, Mike. Give it to us.
Well, I guess if you're curious on where Phil's subs are, I think he's at just 198.
Mhm.
So not sure if it's still 199.
Yes.
But it is how, you know, it's safe to say Phil is still struggling on what is going to get people interested in his content. The reacts, you can tell he wants to get away from gaming, even though he's called DVC Gaming, but it's not working. He's not doing a very good job of giving people something interesting. And I think it's safe to say him trying to, when he turned to go to Overwatch, like, he knows and he knows he's on Twitter all the time. He knows there was all this Activision Blizzard stuff, so people should always be wary of ever anything Activision Blizzard, but yet he wants to play that game, but he goes back and tries to play that game like it's a first-person shooter. It's like he hasn't learned. What's the point of playing Call of Duty if you keep trying to play every shooter like that? Why are you trying to play Street Fighter? Which, by the way, he's going to have like 3 to 4 days off. Street Fighter 6, and you're going to try to play like you're making me Super Turbo? You're in October. You know you got some new games. You need to actually do something about it. And, you know, if Phil wants to do something, he needs to bite his own bullet. He's dubbed Earthbound. You know what he should do?
Go ahead.
He should go back to Persona. He should give that the redemption run. He's done it before. He's done all these redemption runs, but he's never done a redemption run to an RPG proper.
Okay, I'm down.
Which Royal. And if he does Royal, and I don't care, he doesn't romance anyone. Although he has to deal with all the Ryuji bullshit. If you don't have anyone romance, you gotta deal with one of his dumb ideas in Hawaii. So he has to deal with the fact of not romancing anyone. He gets some of the boring stuff outside of Christmas.
Yeah.
If he does Royal, that will be my Ditch I Don't Play debut.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
gonna do that one. I'm gonna learn how to make the best one. I'm not gonna do what a lot of these trying to do mean stuff. I'm gonna do what is criticizing him, what he's messed up. And yeah, he's gonna over level in that game. Who gives a fuck? We're gonna watch him fail at it. I want to see Phil fuck up in the Kumara fight. I want to see that rage. I want to see it. Because it's going to be the one part he's going to mess up. Because that's what everyone messes up. And that's what we haven't seen. We haven't seen that rage. Elden Ring and Kirby's Forgotten Land was our last real rage. All we got was just nothing. We need something because he's just failing. And the whole thing with Keem, he should have just left all that alone. That's all reason like he does, he reacts. Phil should have just reacted to something more interesting. Jump on the Christian stuff. Talk about the Final Fantasy VII house. Talk about anything. Yeah, I mean, everyone else is doing it. Do something. Don't go after people you have a grudge over.
Yeah.
And that's why his reacts are pointless. You try to figure better than someone.
Yeah.
Do something new. You need to do something better. But that's what you fail at.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's
he's going to stop playing games. That's his new thing.
Yeah.
No more games.
I mean, he stopped playing games. He's just going to be another blogger. All we're going to get is just him ranting about the world. He has nothing else. He doesn't watch TV. He doesn't listen to music. He doesn't go outside. He doesn't have a hobby. He doesn't really do anything. And all we can say that his life is just swipe, 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 swipe. I use my phone for example. Swipe, swipe, swipe. WWE Champions. And you would tell that is literally eating at him. It's killing him. That's all he has. That once he loses PayPal, once he loses Patreon, does he have anything else?
Michael, I'll leave it there. We have a possibility of Michael's first This Is How You Don't Play. We'll stay tuned for that if it happens. All right, my friend?
I know.
See you later, man.
See ya.
Do you remember when he called Cash App? Like, you're like, I don't know what it is. Is it something to do with Bitcoin? Cryptocurrency?
Yep. And here's a funny point that Michael made me think of. Remember how last week all these games were coming out? Oh my God, there's so many games. I have nothing to play. Yesterday, just play nothing. Cool. Must have been there's so many games. I just play nothing. Great. Next caller in the house. Let's try to speed run through some of these. So many legends here. Kaiser, the man, is going to ask us what we're having for dinner. Just get ready for that. Go ahead, Kaiser.
Hello, my little buddies. Didn't the king of Hyrule, who is totally not me, already ask you that question?
Okay, thank God. I thought it might be you, but now I trust you.
Yeah, in any case, I have like 3 topics to discuss, but I'll just choose one because I have a unique, pertinent perspective on it.
Okay.
As you know, if you're in the Discord, most of the other lolcows I follow are like shitty comedians. By the way, shout out to my homeless cats. And when he talked about dark humor, I mean, yeah, it was dark humor. Joking about dark subject matter like slavery is dark humor, but it is shitty comedy. And it is possible that he accidentally called it right, like he called it dark humor, because as we know, Phil has a bit of a problem when it comes to understanding idioms.
Yes.
And this brings me to what I wanted to talk about, which is what he thinks observational comedy is.
Okay.
Because I'm gonna explain it like I'm Phil, but if you've watched any stand-up comedian, you basically know what observational comedy is. It's a comedy that takes something relatable and it just puts a funny spin on it. If you watched, for example, George Carlin and his jokes about voting, or Jerry Seinfeld and his jokes about airplane food or whatever. But Phil, he thinks that observational comedy is like Black Lady Walking, or when I did the research for this, by which I mean I typed in observational comedy into Pig Go and clicked on a random video.
Oh no.
In one, when he played the OG Saints Row this year, he said, okay, you want me to do some observational comedy like Jerry Seinfeld? Then he hijacks a car in the game and says, oh no, he hijacked my car, which does my head in, because he knows that Jerry Seinfeld is an observational comedian, but he doesn't know what it is.
He just literally says what happened. Yeah. He's a narrator.
Like,
that's not observational comedy when you're just narrating things.
Yeah, it's not. Or when he played, what was the game? Outer Worlds, and he saw a waterfall and he said, wow, a waterfall.
This is gold. What are you saying? This is gold.
No, I've made the comparison
before. Like Richard Pryor has nothing on DSP. And he's observational comedy. This is real observational comedy. Not this fucking hack shit.
Who's Lenny Bruce?
Like,
yeah. Go ahead, Sam. Yeah.
I've made the connection before in a previous video, but it's reminded me again of what's his name, Tommy Wiseau, where he like retroactively described The Room as a black comedy because people were laughing at it. It was I always meant it to be funny, and that kind of again it seems like Phil's doing the same thing where he's kind of like he's saying I was playing a character and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's just reminding me of that again. That's all.
I have to say this. I don't want to, but I have to say it. Snood super chat here. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Filming during Imperial City Battle was filled up for several days after the trained Eagle accidentally flew into the filming crew's helicopter rotors. Oh, I didn't know that. Thanks.
Does this count as observational comedy? I mean, he read something. He observed something about Disney and he read it out. So I guess it's observational comedy.
yeah, same thing. And that's his gaming commentary. Let's get real. That's his gaming commentary. Whoa, you see that, guys? Whoa. That's it.
It's a tour guide commentary.
Yeah.
And here we have an enemy. And you just see something and you observe it and you say the first thing that comes to mind about it.
If you look to the left, you'll see someone
There's
shooting
a
at
black
me.
lady walking. You're gonna see a black patch.
Hold your backpack.
Is that kind of like an observational dark fusion style comedy?
I'm gonna die. You can't push those two together. It's too much.
Yeah, I mean, here in ex-Yugoslavia, we got a bunch of ethnic jokes, and Bosnians are described as being stupid. So one joke is, for example, what do Bosnians think dark humor is when they see a black guy laughing?
Like that's what Phil thinks. I mean, that's what he says dark humor
that's
is.
what he thinks dark comedy is. That's why I think that he accidentally got it right when he called that slavery joke dark humor. He accidentally got it right.
Yeah, but there's like a difference between offensive humor and dark humor, because like dark humor sort of skirts the line, but it's never the intent to like offend or demean in any way. It's actually just like making fun or making light or trying to find humor in a dark topic, whereas offensive humor is deliberately offensive. And Phil doesn't sort of like seem to understand that difference. He thinks that all dark humor or dark comedy or edgy humor is going to be offensive regardless, and it's not. You can joke about dark subject matter without being offensive to someone, and he doesn't quite get that.
Yeah. Oh no. Guys, is there anything else for us today? You already had a legendary call here, but anything else for us today?
Nah, I'm gonna go to sleep. Gonna listen to the rest of this legendary podcast.
Thank you, my friend.
And yeah, see ya, bros.
You are a legend.
See you, man. Big ups.
That was an awesome call there. Let's get our next message, Sam. Are we still some more messages to get to? We should get to
Yeah,
those.
you've got 4 left.
All
Here's
right, go
blank.
Hey, that being said, big ups. I have a short question. What do you guys think will be DSP's next excuse for its low subscriber count?
Oh, good one.
It's kind of too easy though, right? I mean, it's just gonna say the trolls, right?
We've had it tonight. Yeah, we've had it this very evening or morning, depending on where you are. But yeah, he
We go live to our man on the scene.
Yes, Meerkat,
Well, yeah,
update us,
let's
please,
do
please.
that.
Meerkat smooths. Go.
Hello, everyone. I am standing here at the Dark Side Phil headquarters in Renton, Washington, staring at his subscriber count. I've counted all the ballots, and the sub count is at 198,000. Exactly. And it's been like that for like half an hour now. But I guess something happened, man. Susan dropped the ball.
Yeah, do you
And
think there's
she's
something there,
up down.
Meerkat? You want to ask your expertise here. Do you think something? Maybe the website has kind of said, "Hey, maybe YouTube is saying, like, hold on, something weird's going on here. Let's pause it or something." Like, it seems that could be the case, right? I mean, why is it just frozen? Has there been so many
Yeah, I
lost
don't know.
subs? It kind of freaks out the system or something. I don't know.
It did this earlier as well. I think I'm sure it was at like, I don't know. Someone in the Discord will probably be able to correct me, but I'm sure it was like this when it hit 200,000 as well. I think it seemed to level off.
You think we've hit like the upper limit of active accounts now, and that's everybody who's like a dead account. Anybody else who was active account and following Phil has now gone. And that is just like 198 dead accounts.
Yeah,
Accounts out there.
it just happens to be exactly 198,000.
Yeah,
that would be the best. But all right, let's get our next caller in the house here. Lord Thunder in the house, always legend. Lord Thunder, how you feeling, my friend?
Hello. Can everyone hear me?
Yes, beautifully.
Yeah.
Yes. Hello.
All right. So Steve got me thinking the other day, talking about, how Phil pertains to like his whole bouts with depression. I'm doing the air quotes and whatnot. It's unfortunate there is probably almost never going to be an official case study of Dark Side Phil. Now, I will say, this is my message to the Gouty one. Whenever you do pass, please donate your brain to science so maybe they can learn something. That's all. Thank you all. Have a good night.
Lord Thunder coming to Steve.
Hard agree. Please do. I want to see what's wrong with that brain.
That'll be interesting. Let's go to our next call here. Let's go speedrun style. Speedrun style call-ins here. By the way, I'm driving my wife crazy with styles, by the way, because I started that new thread where I say style. Like, I'm showing, all I'm doing is people in the Discord. I'm telling you guys, all the people in Discord find these incredible use of styles that Phil does, and I just put it on Twitter. I don't do anything, but my wife is going to kill me because I'm doing, it's like dinner style time? Cool. It's never dinner God, and I thought my kid, guys, sleep style time. Let's go. This is not a nap style.
I really feel like ALT just lives this world that he's in. Like,
this podcast is a bad idea for me. I'm getting too deep now. I'm too deep now. It's like, all right, guys, this is not nap style time. This is sleep night style time. Let's go. All right, Lefty.
I don't know why I don't do that, to be honest.
It's too easy. Lefty, my friend, we're talking over you, but what's your question or comment? You are a legend. What are you here for today, my friend?
Good evening, gentlemen. I actually had an answer to one of last week's questions about what would you do with the man of the hour if you could. And then you guys wanted to answer that question because it's a little uncomfortable, but I'm going to answer it.
Yeah.
And I would take Phil down kind of Q restaurant inside the gun range, and I would take him there because I think having him around all of those things, you would get the full spectrum of the entire experience. And I think that the funniest thing to observe would be like I don't know if you guys have been to a gun range before, but there's one dude that kind of runs it and makes sure no one's pointing them at each other.
Mhm.
And I think it would be hilarious to watch him just chew Phil out for whatever basic firearm safety that he just refuses to do, and then we can go eat and I could listen to him complain about it for another 30 minutes, and I would get the full experience in about it'd take about 90 minutes. I would stay at the gun range just long enough for us to get kicked out because there's no way we'd last more than I don't know, an hour or so.
I was not sure where you were going with that, but that's a good answer. I was like, oh, whoa, we're going to gun range. Whoa. But then we got there. I was like, okay, yeah, now I understand that answer perfectly. That is a good answer. Steve, we need to get your opinion on that, though, Steve. What would you do if you could meet Phil? You weren't here at that time. We got that question before.
Oh, I would, I'd sit him down at the other end of a table with a cup of tea and just talk and try to get something out of him. Because there's just so many things that, you could ask him and sort of delve into. And I think, I would take him to a session of therapy. I think I would book a long session of therapy and sort of really get into that. Because I don't think I could do that alone.
Yeah.
Like SCP Sophie said, she showed Phil to her therapist and she was like, this man needs years of treatment. So I'd just like to go in with another professional and go, help. What do we do with this man? So
yeah, I think about what I would if let's say I had a chance to interview Phil, and it'd be a real challenge, right? Because you want to get the most information out, so you have to kind of build up the ego a little bit. You can't say why did you lie to your fans? You can't do that. You got to be soft gloves and go slowly into it. It would be a fun thing to do, a challenge kind of interview and get as much out of him as you can but keeping him engaged and answering truthfully, right? Because if you piss him off, it's over, right? You just know it. Any kind of question that he takes as a hit on him, he's out. But anyways, Lucky, anything else? Lefty, anything else for us today?
Nope, that's it, boys. We'll see you next time.
Awesome stuff from Lefty.
Oh, I'm muted on Discord apparently.
Oh, there you go. Sam, next message, please.
Sorry about
that. Okay. Here's Ganji Kid. Here we
Oh.
go.
Hi, this is Scott. I'm Ganji Kid. My question is straightforward and simple. Could there be a redemption arc for Phil? What would he have to do to earn your respect?
Ooh.
Thanks.
Meerkat, you first on this one. I want to hear Meerkat here.
What does he have to do? He doesn't really have to do anything to earn my respect. I don't think he's capable of. But let's say if he was, first thing he would have to do is stop burping in the microphone. That's the very first thing.
Good step.
And in general, just be more professional. I don't care if he's gonna beg for tips. That's his whole fucking revenue stream is begging for tips. So he's gonna beg for tips one way or another, every day, all day. So at least be professional about it and just sit there, play games, and be nice. And I guess that's it.
Okay.
I'm not asking for that much, but I don't think he's even capable of even that. So yeah.
Steve, how about you?
No, sorry, I was just working on the Discord thing because I'm quite apparently muted there. But I think it would just have to be an actual apology. You would have to properly acknowledge that I've done wrong and I can understand where I've done wrong. And this is how I could make amends for it. So it would have to be that. You have to apologize for stuff like Panda and for the way he treats his audience and, just general things like that rather than, I don't know, doing something new. Or, saying I'm bringing in something new. It would have to be a recognition of previous actions and how he could change them going forward. To sort of earn a bit of respect, got a long way to go before he would earn my respect fully. But I would at least acknowledge that, hey, that's a good thing. That's positive. There you go.
Yeah. How about you, Sam?
Yeah, the first thing that comes to mind for me is honesty. He would basically have to be a completely different person, and even then, even if he was honest about where the money was going and all the rest of it, and whatever else he's he's being, dishonest or disingenuous about on a daily basis, I still wouldn't respect him. I don't think I still wouldn't want to watch him legitimately. There's so many other little sub categories of things that are wrong with him that I would need ironed out before even considering, becoming a fan. There's just so much about his situation that makes him so unique. But it just so happens that it's great for, the reality show that it is for us.
Yeah. It's a good question, because I was thinking, like, would it take a sorry for what it has done? And that's not enough, right? Because he can just say, like, oh, sorry. You know what he's gonna say? I was a different person back then, right? It's just sort of come out like water from his mouth. Like
that's what I mean. An apology isn't enough.
It's gonna be. I would say it has to take. Not pretending to be, admitting that he's not an expert on everything would be a good step for me, right? That's one thing that he cannot do, is not know something, right? He has to know everything. It's like, that's not a normal human being. Even the smartest people on earth don't know everything, and they don't pretend to know everything, If they do, they're an asshole, right? They're an asshole. People don't know stuff, right? People don't know stuff. And if you don't know something, it's okay to say, I don't know something. Right, but that's
you can't like hold him at fault for acting in a way where he was ignorant of, say, proper like behavioral expectations, or saying something inappropriate at the wrong time. Because if you don't know, then you're not going to be aware of it to like deliberately transgress it or not. But after you've done that, recognizing that, oh, I made a mistake there, I did wrong, and then changing your behavior going forward is the real sort of mark of accepting it and moving on and growing. So. Yeah, if you didn't know, like, oh, I shouldn't have joked about that, then fair enough. If you no experience of it, but now you do know. So going forward, no excuse.
Well, we got a super chat question from, I'll say respecter here. Theories on why he used paper plates and cups. I think that's simple enough. Just straight up laziness. Anyone else has anything different than that? Any opinions here on the panel? What else could it be, right? Meerkat, anything?
Just lazy, man. You're just lazy. It's
Yep.
easier to throw them away. That's it.
The best part is he thinks it's normal enough to keep telling us that he's buying it every time he goes to Costco. He go, oh, I get my commodities like paper plates.
And I still remember this one moment when he was talking about buying paper plates from Costco, and he was listing out the things to buy, and there was like paper plates, cups for that one thing that we need them for. It was a very specific way that he said it.
Yeah,
I'm
you're right.
like, okay, now you got me engaged. What is that one thing? Tell me, come on. You can't just imply that there's a one thing. That's not how storytelling works. Come on.
Yep.
Be better.
It's and that's one of those things where if you're a normal human being and you're watching someone say that, you could say, whoa, you seem to be low on money. It seems like something you can do to not do is just, hey, don't do paper plates. But unfortunately, the audience, if they say anything about that, get banned to oblivion. You know that. Let's get our next caller in here. Mr. Dan Dark in the house. Question or comment from Dan Dark. How you feeling, my friend?
Hello. Yeah, I just wanted to make mine real quick and simple. Just the cope section that we had today about his subscribers.
Yeah, because unfortunately, I didn't hear too much of that. But what's your thoughts on that? Please share.
Basically, I don't know how he plans on speed running his subs, because he's been talking about getting these 2K subs to get him to 200,000 since his birthday in, what was it, April?
Yeah.
And now he's down all those subscribers. And I don't know what all these games are going to do, because back then he had Elden Ring, which was the only thing that I think would have helped him that much. But he's gonna he definitely sings the praises of what was it called again?
Which one?
God of War. That
Yeah,
it's
the
gonna
new one.
save everything.
Well, it's always the next thing, right? I mean, he always just says like, oh, this next thing on the horizon is going to save us, right? This next thing on the horizon is going to save us. Just like I got this next bill coming up. There's always the next negative. There's always the next positive. Duality of DSP. We've mentioned it so many times, right? It's the impending financial doom and the impending success. It's always around the corner. That's how he operates, right?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Sam.
There's one on the horizon that suddenly presented itself, and its name is Street Fighter 6, and yeah, it's the next thing that's going to save the channel. So much so that it's got 3 premieres this week, and but only
Not how
3
that
for
works.
some reason.
That's not how it works.
He's doing 6 sessions of it, as far as I know, but 3 of them, only the daytime streams are premieres for some reason.
Okay.
So yeah, and I think that was what I needed to shout out Fiskas for on Discord because he spotted that too.
You know, don't they do that in the cinema when they premiere a movie? They have like several nights of premiere. That's what he's doing too. He's like a big movie chain, a big cinema theater chain.
Guys, he has a
He's
birthday
going
week.
out of business too.
Yeah, oh yeah, good point. It's a birthday week, guys. Yeah, birthday week.
I forget
It's
that.
Elden Week as well.
Elden week. But his wife? That's one day of Burger King, bitch. Birthday week for you? Get the hell out of here. You get one day of Burger King. Me? I'm the king of hate. 1 week. Bask in the glory of my week of birthdays, my friends.
It's been
Put on the inflatable crown.
Yeah, good point. Anything else for us, Dan Dark?
No, that was it.
Awesome stuff, my friend. Thank you for that. And let's get to the next message. Sam.
Okey-doke. Here's J-Dog.
How's it going? That being said, J-Dog here, first time caller. I just want to first off say thank you very much for the podcast. Y'all do. I mean, seriously. If I could get down on my hands and knees and say thank you for the podcast and still be on the microphone, I would do it. I seriously would do it. Anyway, question. If y'all could choose out of either of these people for a honest 1-hour interview, and they had to answer honestly to all the questions, who would y'all choose? Cat or Panda Lee? All right, ladies and or gents, thanks for what y'all do. Y'all are very entertaining. Take care.
All right, I'll go to. I see you want to answer there, Steve. I'll go to Meerkat first. Let's get everyone else. Steve's going to be last here. Go ahead, Meerkat.
Cat, 100%. Because I want to know. I just want to be a fly on the wall in their conversations. It's so fucking interesting to me how these two people conversate. Because when I see them on stream, I'm like, these two have zero chemistry, man. What are they talking about? There must be like Oblivion music playing in the background when they talk. It's just like two NPCs communicating.
Oh man, that's a good short idea right there. That's a good short idea.
So awkward. They were so awkward.
Oh fuck! I want to make it, but I'm not good enough. Shinko, do it.
I just want to know how they eat on paper plates and the DoorDash and the Champions. I want to know about it. It's so interesting to me.
That's a good question. All right, I'll go. I'll answer next. I'll answer next. Then you go, Sam. Then we'll let Steve finish it out. I would say Panda for me, just because there's so much more there. I think Panda would be like, "Hey, how did you guys meet? Let me know about that." Right, the true meeting story, the true. What was everyday life like? What was that kind of stuff? More of a backstory there. And I honestly think Leanna is more well-spoken and could probably answer the questions better, I should say. Go ahead, Sam.
Okay, I've flip-flopped in my mind over the last minute. Because my initial thought was exactly what the chat's doing and saying, Panda Lee, definitely. Just because she'd be so much more interested, I think. She'd have much more to say. However, thinking this through, I'd say Cat, because I don't feel like you would ever get that chance in reality. I don't think that's ever going to happen. But with Panda Lee, I feel like she's kind of adjusted to the outside world, and possibly you may one day have a conversation with her. Just you may happen to bump into her, or we contact her and she comes on this podcast, whatever.
Yeah,
I feel like that's not out of the question. So that's my thinking.
All right, Steve, we're waiting for your answer here.
I'm thinking Panda as well, because I feel like you said, there's more to it. With Kat, you could just confirm or deny like certain things about what we think about their relationship, and I think we would find out that ultimately they are sort of roommates rather than actually a relationship.
Yeah.
But with Panda, there's an actual relationship there, so you could learn more about how Phil would work within that context. We could sort of like determine stuff like how old she was when they first started and how all that started. You could have a look at like how he groomed her and got her to move over to the other side of the country with him. There's so much you could get in how she got out and how she sort of like adjusted to an actual life, and sort of like what made her realize, hang on, this guy is actually really bad for me. I just think there's more in Panda. There's more to sort of like talk about with Panda than with Kat. I think once you've got to the point where Cat's like, yeah, we are just roommates basically, and he is that disgusting, there's not much else you can go into. But with Panda, you could talk for ages. So
yeah.
I'm
Just
disconnected from Discord.
yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. Why they can't hear you? But Snood is on fire right now. If you saw that super chat, so I'm gonna read Snood's super chat word for word here. This is he wrote this. I didn't say this. Hey Foxy Moan, I really love you working with Connor Cox. I also loved you.
No.
Now we're getting daring tweets from super chat. We gotta love it. Gotta love it. That's one of the weird. I loved you working with someone. That's one of my most interesting things I read there. Real quick comment on that. I got people saying, "Oh, why don't you interrupt Panda Lee? Why don't you interrupt Panda Lee?" Panda Lee's out of the world, right? So we don't want to be the ones that bring her back in. That's not for us to do, right?
Yeah.
So let's just keep that. Let's keep that just in case anyone asks about that. We get asked about that all the time. About why don't you have this person on? Why don't you have this person on? She's out. Let her be out, guys. If she ever wants to come back, and for some reason she said like, "Hey, guys, I really want to be on your show," then that's a different story. But I don't think that's ever going to happen. So it's just a fun thing to think about, but not actually do. All right.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. Let her be free, my friends. Let her be free. Now let's get our next caller in the house here. And this person, I believe, is the guy that always calls from work. Is that you, Marin 12?
Yep.
Hello. Yes, I can. How you doing, my friend?
I'm good. I got a quick question for Steve and just want for you guys. What were your guys' opinions on the whole preaching that was today of the whole Street Fighter 6 shit show here in town? And then my question for Steve is if he would get the chance to talk with DSP or analyze him, what he'd do it.
All right, good. Well, you're a little bit noisy, Marin. So I'm gonna let you go, but we'll definitely answer your question. Okay, my friend.
Yeah, sorry.
No problem. We're gonna answer the questions though. Okay, I'll let you go. We're gonna answer those. Go ahead, Steve. What would you think? What would you ask us, DSP? We kind of talked about that earlier, but go ahead, one more shot. Any specific question you would ask Phil? You would want to make sure you ask.
I don't think there's a specific. I think I'd start with like, talk to me about you. Talk to me about things that you feel. I try to start it as basically a therapy session. I'd try to be like, so tell me how this incident made you feel, or tell me how you felt when somebody said that, and why did you feel like that? You sort of start digging in, and you'd let them really guide it. So I think I'd sort of generally try to be not obtuse or vague, but I tried to be like open to it. I wouldn't sort of like say, so tell me about this straight off. I'd be like, so how do you feel when these things happen? How are you doing when these things happen? All that sort of stuff. I'd treat it more like a therapy session, I guess. I wouldn't be able to like properly interrogate. I just want to know. And you learn that more by like finding out and letting them tell you. So yeah.
Yeah, he's the kind of guy that like, someone else Sam brought up that David Brenner kind of comparison. He used to know if he ever went to therapy, really, he'd just be sitting there saying like, I'm not talking. I choose not to talk first. How you doing today? Well, fine. How do you feel about, your 14-year legacy? It's okay. He'd be like that. It'd take you a week to get anything, but thanks so much for that question.
Fair.
And let's get to our next message, Sam.
Operating on the assumption that he would have to be open and honest and answer your question.
Oh,
we lost Steve for Steve. We lost Steve. Come back to us, Steve. Steven. Let's get back to Meerkat here. Meerkat's moves.
Here. It's still the same number. What do you want me to say? It's stuck on 198. But I want to answer the question about talking about DSP, and I'm gonna answer it with a non-answer, which is I don't really want to talk to DSP because I think he's gonna smell bad, and it's gonna make me depressed. So I think he should just stay there in that office, never go anywhere, and just stream.
Sounds
all
good.
Day and all night.
Oh, Snood is on fire. Look at that last one. Message retracted.
Snood.
Master class from Snood right now. We are enjoying. I want to get the next caller in here. Hopefully Steve can join us in a second here, but let's get another true legend in here. He goes by the name of Clickbait, and he is here. How you doing, my friend?
Degrees of Salutations, gentlemen.
Hey,
Okay. I just want to take in the beauty that was the fake Keemstar fan email.
Oh yeah.
He read verbatim, and the dude spoke like Phil.
Yeah.
That was awesome. That was fucking awesome. Like, dude, he even said behind the scenes.
Yeah.
It was like, what? Like, you might as well play the lotto to get that lucky to find a fan that speaks in your vernacular. That's awesome.
Truly incredible.
Oh God, I missed that.
It's a beauty, Steve. It's like it's right up there with the old guard.
Yes.
It's just like the dude, and he said, I'm gonna read this verbatim, and then it's like, this is you, Phil. This is you.
I wonder here. Here's a theory. It could be a LARPer that wrote that as a fan to make Phil read it.
That was Phil. That was Phil. Because his whole mission statement from the jump was to convince himself and I guess other dents that Keemstar is a really bad guy and shouldn't be rewarded for his behavior, but I should be rewarded for my behavior.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, yeah, but you sat there and watched it, and every time you sat there and paused to shit on him, you didn't let it finish, and then it would go and like, oh, but then Keemstar did this to bounce back, and it's like, what's your point, Phil?
Yeah. Yeah.
The man fucked up. He took his licks, but he kept grinding. He didn't sit there and rest on the laurels of, you're still telling us how you got fucked a year ago by Twitch.
By Burger King.
In Burger King, let that shit go. That's why you're on level 1. You're still complaining about level 1 shit. Keemstar got fucked. Yeah, he said the N-word. He did this. He did that. And he moved the fuck on.
Yep. That's
now
the key,
over here
right?
sitting there trying to call him a pedophile. Like, you're bugging, son. You're bugging.
That's the key, right? If you keep making stuff that people like, whether you yourself enjoy that or not, people are going to still be a fan of you, right? In the end, right? Even if you said something horrible in the past, you change, though. That's the key point. Change and continue to make good stuff. People are going to come around. But Phil can't do that. All he can do is, what he would call, well, I guess it's punching up for him, but all he does is just shit on. Every react is now shitting on someone and comparing it to how he's better than that person, which is, how is that not toxic behavior, right?
It's wild because he sits there and he can't understand that everybody's successful because they use the business model that works. So what are you trying to say, Phil? How am I supposed to be on your side and be like, yeah, fuck those dudes, they did the right thing? Like, what? Actually, what the fuck are you talking about, Phil? I'm not successful because I didn't game the system. Well, then that's why you're on level 1, bitch.
Yeah.
What's your point?
Yep.
Matt,
He did game the system, though.
Yeah, he gamed the system, but
much.
He didn't game the system in a way that he wants, where people should be sucking his dick, where he should be up there with the upper echelon of YouTube, and he's not. Even though he's claiming to be the inspiration for all of these motherfuckers out here in the streets. Because he was there on the ground level. Like, yeah, they saw what you did and said, I can do better.
Yeah. It's like gaming the system worked for him and his style of content just kind of accidentally when he first started. It just suited him, his personality. So he just kind of, in a way, just kind of got lucky. And then when things changed, it stopped suiting him. So, and we know Phil, he just doesn't move with the times. So he gets
it takes
behind.
effort. It takes effort, and he don't want to give effort.
No.
So, and one last thing before I go, I got a question for Steve. I was watching one of your lovely 5-hour videos, which I always enjoy during my work days. They need to be longer. I need more cat segments, please.
I'll see what I can do.
You once said that the reason Phil uses, he's got such a scatfish because, shit is safe. I would say, I don't think he does it because it's safe, because we already seen he don't have no problem putting his foot in his fucking mouth. I think he likes the scat because that's that 4-year-old juvenile humor. Like, his brain, like, even when he argues, he goes down to the base level. He don't insult you like with a legit argument. You're a fucking duty head. You're a stupid fuck. You're all the shit a child would do.
Yeah.
Fuck face, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he goes right down to the base level like a kid would do. So the scat shit is just because duty's funny to children. Duty's funny.
Absolutely, that's a really good point, and we see it in other places that he doesn't really have like the mental maturity to engage in thinking that like adults do, because adults have like more complex ways of thinking about things. But as somebody who's not mentally matured enough, he is gonna like go back to that. That's a really good point. Yeah.
Because it's like, safe. This motherfucker was trying to sell a black girl to slavery. He ain't worried about safe. Ain't worried about safe.
Get up for the slave trade. Gonna go for profits.
Man, he was telling gay jokes. He was telling gay jokes in the quarry gameplay. The man ain't worried about safe.
Yeah.
He just likes Duty because Duty's funny to children.
Yeah, but I think like in those times he does get like a little bit of pushback. Like maybe some people will say, "Oh my god, look what he said there," and then say like one of his whales or one of his flying monkeys will get back to him and say, "There's a lot of people talking about this now. Maybe lay off it for a bit." So he'll back off. He'll make a joke about being gay, and then when he sees the reaction, he'll back off for a bit. And then so he sees like the pushback and goes, okay, not pushing that one for a while. And then later on when he thinks, oh, it's safe now, everybody's forgotten about it. I
Or
can do it
he'll
again.
get overly defensive and he'll go base level, like with the black lady walking when they called him on it. If you think that was racist, you're the dumb, stupid fuck racist. He went straight to base level. Insults.
Yeah, he got out there, yeah.
Like insults and just sitting there like, no, you're the dummy. You're the cock-a-doodle poopy head. Like that type of shit.
Yeah, a bit of dab out there, a bit of turning it back on somebody else. Go on, Sam.
Exactly, yeah. You'll get that kind of that reaction, that same sort of thing that he did with the I had an example. Shit, sorry. I've completely lost it. I'm all out of examples tonight. No, it's gone.
Awesome stuff, Clickbait. Anything else for us tonight?
Man, great show. Glad to have Steve on board because I definitely want to pick your brain a little bit.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
So, cheers, mates. And I see my man Durag, Danny, so one snort for him.
All right, Clickbait, we'll let you go. Right. I do want to say, give Clickbait a little shill here. He does have a wrestling show that if you're into wrestling and you love Clickbait, you want to watch that show because he brings the heat just like he does here, but in the wrestling world. So if you want to follow that, search Clickbait Wrestling on YouTube and you will find him. And he brings the hot takes in that world. Yeah, so Clickbait is a legend in many fields. But let's go, Sam, next message if you could.
Yep. The Tractor Maiden. Here we go.
Just a quick question, and this is something that I've noticed that's just gotten progressively worse with him over time. And I feel like that's his over-reliance on his audience to dictate his own stream. What I mean by that is like there's polls upon polls for this and that. And, he always does what do you guys want to see? What do you guys want me to play? What do you want me to do for this event? Nominate this, nominate that. And it's gotten to the point now where it feels like he's giving them homework. And like now, like if they find anything funny or interesting during the week, it's up to them to highlight it for him. But do you think that like his heart is in the right place? But it's just he has poor execution when it comes to getting the audience that involved, or should he make more executive decisions on his streams?
Ooh, okay. Interesting way to take this question. So is Phil trying to get his fans really involved in the positive way that a lot of streamers do? Or is he's just doing it incorrectly? Or is he just lazy? I guess is the baseline of that question that I understand. Let's go to Meerkat first on this one. Go ahead.
I think if he takes more executive decisions, then he's going to have to take more responsibility for basically everything that's happening on his streams. And if something flops, then it's his fault. So he can't really blame the game because he picked the game. And he likes to blame the fans and guilt trip them when it doesn't go his way, when they get to pick the game for those marathons and stuff. Especially the Halloween ones are usually terrible because the fans get to pick everything. And it's very boring. Especially when Kat was there. They played some old The Silent Hill games and she was just kind of sitting there looking like a depressed raccoon. It was very sad. And then it was Tevin's fault. So,
it was Tevin's
anyways,
fault.
but I'm derailing too much. Anyways, passing it to the other guys.
Yes, I Steve, what do you think? That's a question for you, I think. Is it has his heart in the right place, yet he's just executing it poorly?
No, for me, it comes down to a couple of things. He's very avoidant when it comes to actually making any sort of decision, because making a decision carries risk. There's always the risk that you could be wrong. It could backfire. It could humiliate you publicly. And I think he tries to avoid that. And he's also very it's a defense thing as well, because if it goes wrong, well, the fans chose the game. There's nothing you did wrong. It was the fans who chose the game that did poorly.
Yep.
And there's also the sort of entitlement of, well, you should be the ones telling me what to do. You should be the one telling me what to play. I don't want to like make a decision myself. You guys tell me what you want. So there's a combination of things, and I think they all like have a varying amount of influence when it comes to stuff like this, because he does it a lot. He does it like he has a lot of polls. He has a lot of like, hey guys, you pick the members' goal. Why? Let's talk about what we can do if we hit this goal. You know, there's a lot of that. So I think more and more he's reluctant to make decisions because of the consequences.
Yeah. Go ahead, Sam.
Yeah, I agree with these guys. He wants to put everything on them. Yeah, obviously, you know, he doesn't want to take responsibility. I also think that he just wants to appear to be interactive because that's what streamers do. That's what he's heard. And so the things that he does to appear that way are all just like kind of really easy and no effort. Just, you know, we're going to do a poll of 4 games that I've chosen, you know, or you've chosen for me or whatever, but it's just like there's nothing exciting about that. There's nothing new, there's nothing unique about that. It's just very easy and safe and minimal effort, isn't it? You know, that's
like a facsimile of interactivity. It's like he's heard it's supposed to be interactive, but he doesn't quite know how. So
So
how he thinks it is.
what he chooses to do is to literally say the word interactive as many times as possible. That's how he chooses to do that. So I don't know what interactivity is, but I'm just going to say it a lot. So today we got an interactive stream, guys. It was an interactive time. We got some interactive polls going on. If you want to go to kingofhate.com, there's an interactive poll there. If you want to be a member, you can be interactive there as well. You can talk to me directly. You can also talk to me directly when you do at me for questions. And it's just saying interactive doesn't mean anything, right? I mean, that's
big up Barrett Wells.
Where am I supposed to be interactive? That is a fucking good one. Where am I supposed to be interactive? You still haven't told me. That's literally what his mind is saying. So I'll just say it as much as possible and give you polls. And you have these polls. You have more power than God himself in these polls, because oh my God, guys, if you can vote on this incredible shit, your mind will be blown. In the end, though, it's just a way for you to give me more money at the end of the month. But still, you have a lot of power there. So that's awesome. That's a great perk for being a member of DSP, which is awesome. Big ups for the super chats here. Big ups to Meerkat. I unsubbed to Steel Toe a month ago. It's amazing to see how the hypocrisy lean in and manual ban or burp. The choice is yours. Yes, those are your 2 choices on the DSP stream. Big ups, my friends, for that. Let's get to our next caller. Oh, Sam, how many more messages do we have? I should ask.
We may not have any more. Hang on. Oh, we've got 1 left.
All right, go ahead. Let's get the message out of the way, and then we'll finish the callers all up here.
There we go.
All right. Okay. So I have a big theory. I went down the Derek hole, to his tweets.
Dangerous place to be.
And I've crafted something. I think Derek is the kind of guy. If you look at his birthday, it's like January something. I think 19th. You go down his tweets. You find his earliest real hardcore porn tweets. And it's like a month after his birthday. So I think genuinely Derek might be the kind of guy who saw you have to be 18 years or older to use his website. And he was like, all right, I guess I'll just wait. And he actually, unironically, non-theoretically, in reality, he waited. I really think that. I really think that Derek is that kind of dude. He's just that honest. And, Phil likes honesty. That's why Phil likes Derek. He's an honest guy. He did nothing wrong. He did everything correct. Derek is a good boy. That's all I have to say.
So that's an interesting theory, that maybe Derek actually waited till he was 18 years old to enjoy what the internet has to offer in terms of pornography. I don't think I can just dispute that. Anyone out here want to dispute that fact?
No. But although I think I'm sure this was being discussed on Discord the other day. I'm sure someone brought that very thing up where he literally waited until he was whatever age it is over there to be able to watch that sort of thing.
I guess it's believable. Jave Cornwall, big ups for the super chat. I don't know if you guys saw, but Dark Seed of Phil did an awesome cover of Animal Farm with Phil on it. on Twitter today.
Yes.
And
Yes, it
Jay
was
Carl
great.
is quoting out that all pools are equal, but some pools are more equal than others. Beautiful. Loving the philosophy behind all the madness. Keep up the work, boys. Thanks so much, Dave Cornwall, who did one of my favorite comments ever about our show and on your tweet. That was really nice to hear, my friend. Thanks for that. Let's get our next caller in here. Another legend, someone you all know and you all respect for all he is. DJ Runo in the house, my friend. How you feeling?
Hey guys, hope you're doing well.
Yep.
I would like to. I have a topic to talk about, and then I would like to ask Steve a question, if I may.
Okay.
So, it's about Street Fighter 6 because Phil got into the closed beta, is allowed to play before a lot of people, and I could have sworn Phil said he doesn't want to do that. That's a bad thing because that's the people get the early views, and that's how they get popular. I thought we were against that. I could have sworn I've heard something like this. And as soon as he gets the chance, he jumps straight for it, which we all knew by anyway. And finally, Phil won something. He didn't. He won against the trolls, like 2 weeks ago. Apparently not, because it's the only win he ever got. And I thought he won in life because he has a beautiful wife and he's a beautiful home and he has a beautiful cat and that's his family. He didn't win. Apparently.
No. Yeah. I
Nope,
guess he
but
didn't win.
he won finally. Once in his life, he won. He got into the Street Fighter closed beta. Let's go, big ups, boys.
Yeah, that's a good point because he always says that, right? I don't want to be this guys who get the game early and saying stuff, but he wants to play this one, so that's cool, I guess. Go ahead, Steve.
Yeah, it's exactly that. It's when other people do it, that's bad. But when I do it, it's fine because I'm me and I'm special. But other people doing it, bad, very bad. I hate them people, criticize them. But me, it's fine.
Yep. And
huge dose of
He's a
narcissism.
fan of
Though.
Street Fighter.
He
just likes Street Fighter, so that makes it okay. He's a fan, man. He's a former pro. That makes him eligible for the beta, apparently.
And that's not.
So, yeah, of course.
I think they just rapid fire those out. By the way, lots of people got them. It doesn't matter who you are, but anyway. But Phil's probably going to tell you that.
Yeah.
You know?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, it's just going to be. Oh, I'm wondering if they gave it to me because of who I am. I don't know anything. I can't wait till this game. I know it's. I hope it's good. Super 6 is probably going to be good. But what if it sucks? Right? What if it's like this horrible game everyone complains about? And I guess Phil can then blame his failure on the developers. I guess that's where the blame will go. It won't be because he chose to play it. You know what I mean? But it'll be interesting if that does happen.
You got to
not having it completely complete as a beta.
Yeah.
True. You got to catch up on on what you were saying about it earlier, though. About
God, really?
Yeah, well, about other larger streamers getting keys, but they blatantly only got keys because they were given them by or something like that, and then he went on this whole rant about how that's he didn't. I don't think he said illegal, but he said it's against terms of service or whatever, and it could get you kicked off Capcom games and all this. It's just like you cannot just be happy for a second and you can't be a dickhead, basically for 1 minute.
Oh, and the best thing about this was he told the others to stop begging.
Oh, begging? He said that. Yes.
He was the one.
What? Whoa! I didn't hear this. What did he say?
What did you do? He told the others to stop begging for codes.
Oh my god! I'm gonna get that clip. That's
that was
unreal.
so good.
You said you had a question for Steve though as well. Let that go, Steve.
Exactly. Yeah. So this is a theory I've come up of why people tip Phil, and this is just theory, but let's see. Could it be because they feel some kind of power of something or someone else? What I mean by that is, Phil, begs for money. Otherwise, he will lose the house, and he cannot do this, and he cannot do that, and he cannot survive. So they have this power thing. If I tip or don't tip or don't give him money, in other ways, this person could literally, this thing could die, but I'm keeping it alive. This sort of thing. Could that be one of the reasons why at least some people tip Phil?
It absolutely could, yeah. That is like always a possibility. And I would be surprised if there's not at least one of his whales that doesn't feel like that. Because you have that power over him. He literally is desperate for money and he's asking constantly. So if you're the one who's giving him money, you have that power. You are like sustaining him and he depends on you. There's a dependency there on the person giving money. So yeah, it's absolutely possible that at least one of them does feel like that, if not more. And I would be surprised if none of them do. There's got to be at least one that does feel a bit of that, you know? So yeah, very good point, and I completely agree. That's entirely possible.
So DJ, I want to ask you. I should not because we got to end the show. But DJ, why did you donate to Phil in those days?
You know, it was a mixture of that back in the day I watched him a lot, so you know, it's someone who provided a lot of, back then at least, entertainment for me. So you know, you kind of get the feel, yeah, you should help out since you got a lot from it. And most of it was pity, to be honest.
Okay.
Because yeah, you see this person who's like down, and if you go on the streets, you see the people who lost their homes and whatever, and you just get this feeling because they got it worse than you. Well, you gotta say, well, you know, it's this kind of thing where you just
he's playing on
you get this
sympathy.
feeling like, yeah, a few dollars here wouldn't hurt me, but could help him. You know, it was mainly pity. Let's put it this way.
Okay, awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that, DJ. As always, thanks for calling in, and hope to see you in the future, my friend.
Yeah, hope to be here as well. See you guys.
Awesome. DJ Runo in the house. All right, we have 4 more callers. We're going to speedrun style these through. Let's go. We have, 3 more callers. 3 more caller style guests, and then we're going to go to the outro style ending of the show. Oh, real quick, Sam, I wanted to ask you. We have a surprise for the viewers. I know we're cooking up. Is that ready to roll yet, or not ready to roll yet?
It's ready to roll, and I may have accidentally played it right at the beginning of the stream, but we forget that.
Yeah.
But
okay. So don't do mystery style this thing out and not tell them what's going to kick it off, or how do we want to do this reveal? What kind of style do you want to go for in this reveal?
I want to say we've got a positive reveal again, and I want to big it up to the point where it's incredibly disappointing when it actually happens.
Good idea.
That's what I want.
Good idea. So we have a positive style reveal that can happen in the end. We have 15 minutes before we have to end the show. That is the hard date, or I have to get divorced. So I don't want to get divorced right now. So I got to go 15 minutes. 3 callers left. Let's see if we can do it. Day Glow, get your ass in here. Let's hear what you got to say, my friend. Day Glow, don't let me down. Don't let me down, Day Glow. I'm pulling you in.
I don't know if ALT actually just said, but that means you've got to like the stream, by the way.
Oh, yeah. By the way, you have to like the stream for that. Yes. Guys, I know we can do it. Right here. We can do this. Into nonsense. Have anyone else noticed? Okay, I'm not going to bring up any more points. We got to end the show. I was going to bring up a whole talking point, but we'll save that for Sunday. Oh, I can't. But... All right, Dayglow, we're passing you by. 2 callers left.
I was just listening.
Okay. Shoney in the house. My friend, how you feeling?
Feeling good. What's up, boys?
Nothing much. Go ahead.
Hey, what's up, man?
What's up? I got 2 quick things. So first, want to get to shout outs. Okay. shout out to Darcy DePhil and Pixar Animations. If you guys haven't checked out their work, they have amazing animations, illustrations, art. Their work is seriously top tier. So go check them out on Twitter. You can find their handles from somebody. I don't know. Ask around. But
I'll put the
shout out
post.
to them.
I'll put the link right now. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, they're awesome. My question for you guys is a fun one, and I'll answer it first. You guys have a quick second to think about it. If you could put Phil in a reality show, which one would it be and why? I'll start with me.
I love this.
I would put him in Survivor just to see. Just to see him doing physical activities and challenges with other people and seeing him fuck up so bad. And everyone's just like, you know what? Fuck this guy. Vote him off immediately, like right away.
You know, you'd be the first one fucking out. 0 chance he lasts the first. Unless someone they think, some people they let someone last because he's a lame duck. Let's keep him on the team. That's the dream, right? Because you want to keep him around, but all right, we know he's gonna get out later. Let's just keep him on.
You know, there's these players on Survivor that sometimes they just get along and they just sit out every challenge. and they're just used as a spare vote. When somebody needs a vote for their alliance, they go to this guy, and they're just like, okay, come with us, vote with us, and he's gonna be that guy.
Do you think he'd be smart enough to come up with that strategy, or just be like, "You guys suck. It was stacked against me. Fucking trolls out here."
He's just gonna sit out the challenges and then just fuck around at camp and pretend like he's doing stuff and give out pre-streams to people and tell them his life story.
Oh God! How many times would he start with? All right, well, I used to work at a helicopter company. If you don't know what a helicopter is, it's a mode of transportation. That would be the best. How many times would he break that shit out? Sam, do you have a different answer though? My answer is Survivor. I think Meerkat is as well. Sam, I think you have a different answer though. You said before, I believe.
Well, no, I've changed my mind if I did, but because I was thinking, like I'm a celebrity, get me out of here or something like that. But for the same sort of reason, I imagine. But it's just occurred to me that Geordie Shore would be the best because I want to see Phil. I want to see Phil tashing on with the likes of Charlotte Crosby and Vicky Patterson.
Oh fuck!
And I'm sorry if
Getting
this is a
wasted
bit
on gin.
whoosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome answer. Awesome stuff. El Shoshone, you said you had a second point. Anything else for us today?
Yo.
No, that was it. It was the shout outs. Very important.
Okay.
And that fun question. That's it. So
Okay.
you guys keep it
Sorry.
up. Love
You're a
it.
legend.
I just want to say because I think I've peaked with Pig Brother, but I would actually have him on like an America's Got Talent because there's always that one person who has like the sub story. I want to be able to present that. Like getting to this point for Philip Burnell has not been easy. During his life, he's experienced great loss. At the age of just 27,
Phil,
he was kicked
tell
off.
him you got depression.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah, I want to be able to present that.
That was my depression. Too good.
And then the trolls came after me, man.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. Internet trolls attacked Phil Burnell's life and livelihood.
They
What he sing?
Partnership on Twitter.
What,
And then
Sam?
he comes on stage and sings like I don't know. What would he sing?
Final Fantasy 7 intro. Banana. Oh God.
Yeah. Squeeze banana.
All right, great question, El Shoshone. As you can see, we're having some fun with the questions. So I'll see you in the Discord, my friend.
Hey guys, peace.
Later. Last call of the night, if you can believe it. He goes by the name of Durag Danny, and hopefully he can bring the heat with this last call. How you doing, my friend? You are on.
Just got to start as usual. Big fan of That Being Said podcast. Been a fan since Payday Goal. Keep up great work.
Awesome. Okay. Question or comment? Awesome. Thanks so much for that.
Okay, so as we were talking about game shows, I think I did this the exact same time last time we called. We talked about Phil on Taskmaster, and Taskmaster just started up again.
Yep.
No one gets eliminated on the show, so it's just Phil being on a panel show trying to talk to people. That'd be great. But once again, we're at the point where he said, and I quote yesterday, pretty awful stuff. This was a great stream. We don't even need gameplay to keep it going. Here we go. We got 6 hours of Overwatch 2 queuing.
Is he doing that again today, by the way? I don't even know.
He got in. He's like, instead of playing new characters, all right, let me go to Winston. He went straight to Winston and said, this is just like Overwatch 1.
Oh, God.
So exactly what I said was going to happen. Also, I'm sure you guys are aware, I have a semi-viral tweet of Phil with a W on his head.
Yes, definitely. That was you.
That is me.
I thought it wasn't real, but it was real. I was so shocked.
It's real. You watch it on every short schedule with the new updated style short, and it's pretty awful. It's there every time. You'll never not notice it. It's drilled in his head. I saw Snort Burnell put it up, and I'm like, oh wow, I've made it. The W. So.
Well, you see how he gets that W. He leans down to his fucking phone every time he's off camera and puts the screen of his phone on his fucking forehead. Go ahead.
So America's Got Talent. Phil gets on stage and they're like, "What you down?" And he's like, "You're pretty good at this mobile game. Can you get the camera on the phone?" And then Simon Cowell immediately just buzzes him off. What do you think you were going to accomplish? I got depression, guys. You got to respect this app store.
All right, Pixar Animations. You heard the idea straight from Durag Danny. That would be pretty good.
Yeah.
Awesome stuff.
He's just also Discord scamming both me and Steve. Steve's mic not working. Me getting pushed all the way to the back of the queue.
You got pushed back?
I got pushed back. I was right after Mr. Smith, who I said should be a guest on your podcast. By the way.
Oh my gosh! Sorry so much.
I don't know if you know this. Smith has a 30-minute script that he tells people about Phil. He has like a full he told us one night a 30-minute script of exactly about everything about Phil, and then he ends it with, "Oh yeah," and he masturbated on stream. It's truly a sight to behold, but.
Sorry for getting pushed back. Sorry for getting pushed back. I don't know what happens on that, but
best for last.
Yeah, definitely best for us.
We're not really sure what order it goes in. It's weird. It's like it's not in any kind of logical order. It's really strange.
Yeah, but
it's Discord's fault. Phil doesn't have a Discord. He doesn't have a Discord server. There's no mods.
But he's still interactive somehow.
He's still interactive somehow. Mods still know everything.
But all right,
Phil.
Man. Yep.
Yeah, Phil is just having I can't believe it. It's just blowing my mind. He sat in a queue for 6 hours and did nothing. Well, no, for the stream, he switched to Evil Within maybe like 3 hours in. And then at the end of the Evil Within stream, he got in. And he's like, oh, it's dinner time.
Yep. And remember, lifelong gamer, he could have got in the queue before his stream fucking started, or at least the start of the pre-stream.
No,
how hard is that?
He was in the queue.
Oh, okay, he was.
He was in the queue during the pre-stream. He kept it in the left corner.
Okay, that's good at least.
Yeah, he did that today. But he wouldn't stop his pre-stream when he did get in to join again. And I think I'm right in saying he then got kicked out of the game.
Yeah, he said, I'm going to keep moving the controller up and down.
Yeah. And then, so he got into the menu, so he could have started playing then, but he was like, no, I've still got shout outs and whatever else to do, and gaming news and schedule or whatever it was. And then he got kicked out.
Hey, Meerkat.
Yeah. By the way, I have to interrupt you for this breaking news. I'm standing here at DSP Gaming headquarters. He is sitting in queue right now. Darkside Phil is in the queue.
I'm in. I'm playing Overwatch too.
And there are 400 players ahead of him right now.
So he might get in sometime today.
He got in and then played all the old characters.
All right, Durag, that was a legendary call. We're gonna let you go. We got to end the show, but please call in again. Yep, go ahead.
Did you know that there were 13 people who produced the Mulan 2020 movie?
Yes. Great way to finish. I'll let you go on that note, Danny. You're a legend. Thank you, my friend.
No problem. Anytime.
All right. Durag Danny bringing the heat there. And that is the show this week. So this week, though, let's give you some programming news, I guess, to end this madness. This Sunday, I will not be here. I'll be at TwitchCon, actually. I'll be doing some commentating for speedrunning competitions. So I won't be here this Sunday, but the other boys will be here taking care of business. Our guest is undetermined, if we even have one, I don't think, right? Right now, it's kind of up in the air. Might have a no guest episode. We don't ever see, but I'll see you next week for the call-in show for sure. And I'll definitely be in chat because I'll be on an airplane coming home, I think, when the show is on. So I'll be in chat talking to you guys anyway. But thanks so much. Let's go to our final words here. Yeah, final words here. I'll go to Meerkat first. Back there in Renton, Washington, live on the scene.
Hello, ALTM. I'm standing here at the DSP Gaming headquarters. I'm on my way back to the studio. I'll see you guys later. And thanks for everybody for stopping by and watching and interacting and chilling and all that other stuff.
Thank you so much.
Big ups to the callers as well.
Awesome stuff. Let's go to the newest member of the team, Steve of the Dead.
I'd just like to shout out Storm Martin in chat for mentioning Victoria Corin Mitchell, and now I want to see DSP on Only Connect. And big ups to Where is the Eye of Horus? You still haven't told me. So thanks for that one, mate. Thanks for everyone for chatting. I'm sorry I had problems with Discord, and I'm looking forward to Sunday and coming on more of these. So thanks for having me.
Awesome stuff. And I'll send it out to Sam. Finish us off here, my friend.
Yeah, I don't know what happened, guys. We didn't hit that lights goal. It is what it is, I guess.
It is what it is.
hopefully we can have a more positive stream next time. Maybe Sunday we can, hopefully we can hit that lights goal then. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking like an idiot and finish this stream. Thank you to Yosef for that final little that super chat there. Final word.
Get rid of that payday bar now.
Yep. Payday bar safe again.
Meerkat, would you slap an 11-year-old girl for a horse? There you go.
Wow. Okay. Perfect one to end on.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
I don't just keep going with the finish, Sam. Keep ending it. Keep ending it. Keep ending it.
His answer is yes. Right. Okay. Thanks, everyone. See you next time, Sunday.
Yep.
See you later.
See you.
Oh my God, what's the new ridiculous thing that Darkside Phil did in his gameplay today? I can't wait to get to the channel and see. You know what I mean? That's one of the running things I had going, How do I top what I did yesterday? Today was something else stupid that I said. I can't go back in time and change what I did. All I can say today is I'm a different guy today, and I'm sorry for how I behaved in the past, because I look back now and I cringe at how bad it was, right?